beasts, aren't they? Chuffed to bits. The smallest little thornback. No, I just concentrate on not leaving the rod over the side. And his eyes. He's got amazing eyes. Doggy in the boat. Golden mullet. There's a bit of weight to that, you know. And that's what we want, don't we? We don't want the same all the time. We want something different, a good old show. Hello and welcome to the channel. On what is a hot, sweaty, humid summer's evening on the big beach. So yeah, I'm on Chesil Beach. I'm down here with a couple of buddies. Dean's fishing about another 200 yards to my right. Ian's here, Ian Timms, but I haven't seen him yet, but I know he's here already. So, following on from the beach fishing series, showing things that may not normally show on some of the videos, my reel setup. So I'm fishing the 6 and bait, 14 foot long rod, the Pen Fathom 2 casting specials. First thing I need to check is my end float, that there is actually some end float. So you can tighten it up by a couple of clicks, you can loosen it off. I actually like a visible end float on my reel. That's the spool side to side. Not too much, not so it's just flapping around in the breeze, but actually the one that I can physically see. And then second, the mag setting. Clockwise is full mag, 16 clicks anti-clockwise is minimum mag. And I like, for my first cast and nighttime fishing, 3 clicks of mag. 1, 2, 3. And during the daytime, I'll go 4 or 5, depending on how frisky I'm feeling. So we go first cast of the night, 1, 2, 3. And on the end of my shock leader, I'm just going to attach a plain 6 ounce weight. 6 ounce weight for a practice cast that's going to take the line off, wet the line, stretch it out. Going to do it twice, light, medium, bait my rig, weight my rig, clip it on and send it out. So first things first, cut the cast. So just check my drop height, which I know I've got a measured point on the rod that I use, which is my transfer, which is below the bottom eye. Captive line, check that it's free to run, it's not caught around the top eye. Thumb on the spool, good to go. So away, round and out. And just pale that line out so it reaches its full depth. And then recover. Paying close attention now to nice even lay across the spool. No lumps, no bumps, no valleys. All the way in. You could count the turns if you wanted to make comparisons. Count your turns is directly proportional to your distance. Have the line all the way in. You'll hear it when the shock leader knot hits the top eye. There it goes, I've just felt it. And then I'll just start laying my shock leader extra carefully across the spool. Bring my weight up to my measured mark. And checking my clicks. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go 4 because I'm feeling dangerous. And we'll go again. All the way out, round the world, out and away she goes. Definitely took more line off the reel that time because I could see, and then just lay it all back onto the spool nice and neat and tidy. Just taking that extra little bit of care just to put it all on nice. And then we're set for the night. So when the lights go out later, we've had at least 2 daylight casts on each rod. And if anything, at night, if I only go 3 clicks, I don't expect it to go so far. So I think I've taken off more line than what I will later on once the lights go out. A couple of nice daytime casts. If when I'm all baited up, which is unusual if you can cast further when you're baited. If when I'm baited up I happen to cast further, then I just have to live with that. So here we are, getting ready for the rigs. So the rigs, very simple rigs. And I've made up 5 sets of rigs, all identical. I'm only going to be fishing one standard setup tonight. Come hell or high water, rain or shine, sweat, blood and spirits. Already made up. Keep everything nice and tidy. And they are simple, very simple, 2 hook clipped. It's 2 hook clipped, 5 foot long, matches with the match profile that I've already set up for my rod. So with the shock leader, the length it is, I need a 5 foot rig. There's a top line, bottom line, both of those are 2.5 foot long, and they both terminate in Kamasan 3/0s, fine wire hooks. And the reason why I've gone for fine wire hooks, I'm going to be using black lug. Black lug, possibly tipped off with a secret weapon. We'll see how secret. There's no secrets here. Right, so here we go. I've got some wraps. I haven't even opened these yet. I don't even know what standard the bait is, what it is. I know what it is, obviously it's Welsh black lug, but I don't know what I've got for me monies. What have we got here then? Oh yeah, nice, juicy. Juicy, fresh, black lug one. Juicy black lug. So we're going to feed that onto the hook fully. Just captive it at the back end. Put it up the hook. That's 1 black lug on the hook with some gutsy stuff hanging out of it. And then on the bottom of this, this may not be anything to anyone, but it's something to me. I'm going to tag on the bottom of that some salted ragworm. And I think salt, that strong salt, is an attractant. I think they loves it. But we'll see, because I'm going to put a little bit of elastic on that just to tidy it up, just to hold it up. Make sure it dresses on the hook nice. Let's just take that tail off, don't need that tail. Sandy tails, we don't need sandy tails. First thing I've got to check is I've got some elastic, because I don't think I put any in. I'm going to fish 1 rig tipped with the salted ragworm as a bit of an experiment to myself. Salted ragworm, and one of them is going to be tipped with the tail, just a tiny little snippet of squid. So I'd like to do a comparison between the two. You may already guess what the species hunt is for tonight. I'm after a summer codling. Not a lot of elastic, just a little bit. So that is black lug tipped with salted ragworm. That's on 1 hook. And to make this accurate, let's go, because we're all about the experimenting, aren't we? We love the experimenting. Black lug on the lower hook. What do you reckon it'll take, lower or upper hook? I know I've got my own viewpoint. I'd like to think it would take the upper hook, to be honest. I don't know. We'll soon find out, if at all. We'll go black lug, and on this same rig, so it's fishing exactly the same place, 1 hook above the other. So that's it, loaded onto the hook. We'll go for a snippet of squid, eh? When I say a snippet of squid, did you bring your scissors? I don't know. Did I bring my scissors? I got my braid scissors, not exactly ideal. Using braid scissors. Yeah, needs must. Right, here we go. Tiny little slither. Doubled over. Okay. And we just want to put a little bit of elastic on that just to help so it all secures it, so it doesn't just all flop down in a big mess and cover the hook. I don't know if you heard that in the background, there's someone else fishing next door. Right, so we have got 1 tipped with squid, 1 tipped with salted ragworm. I'm going to get that clipped on and cast out. The second rig, got to give yourself some options. Got to give yourself every chance. So what can we do? We're fishing the same rig, 2 hook clipped. I've just sent that first one out as far as I could, which isn't that far. Let's get a weight clipped on there anyway, out of the way. Check the function of the weight, make sure everything's all good, make sure the wires are tensioned. That's what I'm up to at the moment. Check the tension of the wire. You can tension the wire by squeezing them together. I want grip leads that are gripping tonight. And check the function and clip it on. That's the weight on. So we have got a hook that needs baiting. What am I going to put on this one? I'm going for, I think I'm going to try the black lug ragworm combo again. I've got a little bit of faith in that. That's what I'd like to experiment with tonight. So, different way of hooking up this time. So every time you pass it through, twist it, put it on, twist it, put it on. I'm after more of a compact bait this time, rather than a stretched out bait. All different variations. Variations win the day, until you find what works. So, that is a very compact bait. Just put it above the eye of the hook, and we are nice and compact. Get myself a piece of salted ragworm, and again I want to keep this nice and compact. On and on, on and on, down over there, and look at that, very compact bait, lovely jubbly. Where did my stuff go? It's all hiding. I'm using my little Coleman cool box tonight, which is a godsend. Little bit of elastic, especially, guess where? Over the eye of the hook. Just to make sure it doesn't all blob up over the hook and mask the hook point. That is a compact bait, not a stretched out bait. Variations, see what catches. Once you know what catches, stick with it. And for the top hook, I'm going to be predictable. What am I going to use? I'm going to use a black lug. Get rid of that tail. Compact bait again, so I'm not going all the way up the hook with this one, all the way up the line. The other reason for that is if there's spider crabs around, the spider crabs will go for the bait that's up the line and possibly snip your line. If it's only on the shank of the hook, the little snippers can't go through the shank of the hook. So we'll get ourselves a little strip of squid that isn't the best of squids. This has seen better days. But I still think today some is better than none. Bit of worm above the eye, a little bit of squid. Thought I heard a click from a reel then. Another compact bait, about thumb size, and a little bit of elastic above the eye to stop it all globbing down and masking the hook point. So, for variation, again, we put out 2 long baits, we put out 2 short baits. That's what's going out. And I got lug juice down my t-shirt. Dirty boy. Right, he's a dirty mucky pup. Right, I'm going to get this out. So that's both rods, fresh baited, weighted and cast out. Both to the maximum of my distance, given what I've done. I've gone 4 clicks out for daytime casting. I'll go 3 clicks out for nighttime casting. And just going to put a little bit of tension in that right rod. Clickers on, drag set. Gives me an audible warning as well as a visual warning. Light bites will only show on the rod tip. Anything significant, you'll at least hear a couple of sounding clicks, that I call them. Just the odd click, click, click. Or you get the line stripper, and away it goes. I'm tempted to chuck a set of feathers out. If I see any action on the shoreline at all this evening, I will have a quick fluff chuck for some mackerel, because fresh mackerel will be amazing. Fresh mackerel baits. My lines have crossed over So I just need to make sure that rod is in that side. All that is, as it's settled, it has moved down tide slightly. It's been pushed down by the tidal run. Yeah, and we're ready to go. We're ready for a summer's evening fishing on Chesil Beach. What an absolute delight. There's anglers as far as the eye can see. Even as a rough count, there must be 30 in either direction. I'm right in the middle. Would like a little bit more privacy. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely stunning. Let's have a look. I'll show you down the beach. May not show it on camera, but see if that'll tune in. Plenty of anglers down the Portland end. That's the bay end, as we call it. Swing that round. And the camera's struggling with the sunlight because that is this evening's sunset. What an absolute stonker. Let's go down in settings, see if we can get some proper camera footage of that. Look at that. That's amazing, isn't it? Nature in its absolute glory. Let's see. It is proper close tonight. There's hardly a breath of air. I thought I'd catch a little bit of the light before it gets dark and we're on head torches and filming gets difficult, and show the rig really, rig and a bait up. So, a 5 foot, see if I can get it all in camera shot, 5 foot from weight to swivel, and we're looking at a standard clip down rig, so we're using a Cascade swivel. See if the camera just, see the Cascade swivel there? The Cascade piece? That's what we clip into. And at the top, I'm using a Cascade swivel. People use a small, just a plain swivel for this, but I like the way it sits. So when it sits and it's clipped down, it sits nice. I'd have sometimes just nip that off with a pair of pliers. I haven't bothered this time, I was lazy. And there's an SRT spring. And that's to keep everything in tension when it's all clipped up. So we're using 6-ounce Gemini Solo splashdown weights. It's not really a predominantly sandy beach, it's a shingle beach, but out there it's not very sandy. Sand can clog the action of these up a little bit. Good trick with that is to wash it out in a bucket of water between casts. So it stays clean on a shingle beach. And a fine wire hook. Fine wire hook, 3/0 Kamasan, can't remember the denomination of what it is, but finer wire because I'm using worm. That's a good rule of thumb really. If you're using worm, use a finer wire hook. If you're using fish or squid or something like that, you can go with a beefier hook, usually for toothy critters, because they'll smash everything. These aren't particularly big Welsh black lugs, fresh Welsh black lug, full of enzymes and amino acids or whatever it is that makes these things special. I don't know what makes them special, I suppose it's because the fish are out there eating them. But then I'd argue out in this deeper water, are they really lugworm? Because lugworm seems to be more like an estuary type worm, isn't it? What you'd find in estuaries. I don't know. If you've got ideas, put it in the comment section. I love to have a chat about these things, you know I do. I've done the old twist and feed. I'm sticking with compact baits. That's fairly compact as far as I'm concerned. And a little bit of elastic. I'm going to go for plain old worm on this one. I'm going to give him a little treat. Just a plain old lugworm. It's almost like a little snippet, isn't it? And this one, all I'm going to do is a little tiny bit above the eye of the needle, above the eye of the hook, and a little bit down by the hook to keep the hook point clear. And that's a tight little bait. That is a small bait. I'm waiting for darkness really. Once darkness comes in, I'll start loading it up. Adding more. In fact, am I going to put squid on it? Nah, not this time round. Next time. I'm just going to go with plain old worm. No salted rag. No squid. I've got some mackerel. and go a bit of mackerel later. I might go mackerel on one hook just to see what the difference is. Experimenting. Just going to go plain old lug. So it's just go on, twist, hook, on, twist, hook, on, twist, hook. And what this does, rather than just hooking it through, it makes the bait a little bit thicker, a little bit, I think, a little bit harder to strip off. If you've got little picky fish out there, might get into it, and just once they get an end, they pull the whole lot off. You've got a chance of some bait staying on. It's quite messy, it's all greasy, it's all tarry. That's the beauty of the lug. It leaves all that loveliness out there. And this is a small bait, but I haven't had a bite yet. Play to the fish that are there. There's nothing there. What are you saying? There's nothing there. I haven't had a bite. Yeah. I'm drowning dead worms. Soaking baits. So that is the next bait that's going out. And that is already, that's all I'm going to send out. I'm tempted just to put a little squid bit on. Just tip it with a bit of squid. I can't help myself. Do it, Mark. Show us a little squiddy bit. Let's get a little bit of squiddy bit out. And the skizzers. There's my squid. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a strip. 1/4 inch wide, 10mm. I don't know if that's relative. That's too long. Too long. Cut that exactly in half, because that was the plan all along. Get my little bait, my little compact bait. Get off me. Get off. God, when you don't want it to stick, it sticks. When you want it to stick, it don't. That's just life, isn't it? Here we go. A little bit. A little attractor. A little hors d'oeuvre. Would you like squid with your lugworm, sir? Would you like that brought to your room? Still no bites. That's two baits. I've fresh baited. So the first lot went out, fresh baited, second lot go out. I haven't even had a sniff yet. I'm worried. Maybe it's too perfect an evening. Maybe the fish have gone elsewhere. Do you know, that shingle bank isn't straight, which then makes the camera look wonky. That's straight. The bank isn't. I made the mistake of doing the camera to the bank. Right, so what have we got? A roundup. We've got our clip down rig. One black, Welsh black, fresh black lug on each with squid tippets. And clean the top of the little box. Open the cool box. And that's that little Coleman cool box. Just stick those baits in there. I'm going to bring the next lot in for their fresh bait. That is ready just to go on, clipped on. So I'm fishing 3 identical rigs, 2 hook clip downs, the one I've just shown you. 2 are out, baited very slightly differently. Each one's got a slight variation of the same baits, albeit with some salted rag on one. And all I do is a reel in, off clip, clip on, cast it out, sit down, tidy it up, bring the next rod in, and just keep doing that, rinse and repeat. A bite would be nice though, at least some indication of life. If there's any fish out there, now's the time. You know what we say? Loads of people. It's nearly head torch time. Let's have a talk about head torch. What have I got? What have I got? Let's have a look at a head torch. I've got a nice head torch. It's an expensive head torch. I'm not saying everything that's expensive is good, but this was worth spending the money on. This is a Phoenix HM65R, and I'm reading that straight off the front of it. But I like this. This is a cracker. It's got a really nice headband, supports across the top, doesn't slide down, and the beauty of this one is that all of the battery, all of the light is there. So there's no cables out the back. I had one with a cable before and I've still got it. Really robust, big battery pack. In the winter when you're fishing, you get a bit tangled up, especially when you're wearing a big jacket and stuff. But light and bright, this is the way ahead. So I don't use tip lights on my rod tips. I have got tip tape. Gemini tip tape. I used a couple of different, a few videos back, I'll have to have a think and a look, but I'm pretty sure the favourite one that I came out with, I've done comparison on a set of fire blades. I think I did Mighty Bright and Gemini, and I preferred the Gemini, just the way it shone back. But some people like different colours, different variations, how they look. My eyesight's not brilliant. When it gets dark later on, I'll be putting the gigs on. But I like just to use a head torch, and this will last this whole session. Just look at it, turn it down a bit, on beam, but down a bit. And then when you baiting up and that, go wide angle and bait up. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Can't recommend it enough. Very highly recommended. Fenix HM65R. Charged up, it's only got a single battery in it. That will last the whole session. One thing I do like about it is you can press the button once and it shows you different bars. That's fully charged, 4 bars. So any time through the session, halfway through, and you've got 3 bars left, you know you've got plenty of torch life left. If you start running low, go down a light setting, just to conserve it. But that has lasted me all session, every session, night session that I've fished. Usually fish about 6 hours. 4 up, 2 down, 3 up, 3 down, 4 up, 2 down, you know, whatever. It's usually about 6 hours for some reason. Although tonight, 2 up, 2 down, 4 hour session. That's the focus of tonight, and we're nearly at an hour to go for high water. So we're in the last hour of the flood, and then we're going to fish 2 hours down. Prediction is, from my buddy, 2 hours after high water is when it's going to fish. We shall see. I'm not going to call names. I'm not going to say who it was. Ding. But he said 2 hours after high water. We'll see how it goes. We'll call it if he calls it. Got a bottle of cold water, which isn't that cold anymore, because it's screaming hot. Everything's misting up. Even the lens is misting up. Everything's covered in, because it's just so humid. Really humid. Right, I've got a loose t-shirt, but I've got my hoodie. It is going to get chilly once that sun's fully down, and it is just about to disappear. I reckon half an hour, and we'll be into darkness. I hope, with darkness, it's going to liven up. We'll see. It's too far out, but I'm casting towards it. With a bit of luck, this might be what we've come for. Mind you saying that, I've got squid bait on. Let's have a look, see what we got. What have we got? What have we got? No, what have we got? We've got the dreaded eel. Of all the things to have caught tonight. I didn't want a strap eel. I'm not going to pick that up. Right, let us get a T-bar. T-bar this critter off. Didn't expect a strap tonight, I must admit. That's not really what I was expecting. I haven't got a big T-bar with me, because I didn't expect to need a T-bar. No, he's a pretty fish, but he's not what we wanted. Right, let's see if we can get this out without hurting him, because he's only small. I know what I'm hoping for, and I know what I don't want. We'd love a codling. We don't want another strap. I've had a couple of scad. I haven't put them on camera because they were literally, I cast and they were taken on the drop. The scad must be out there in quite a thick shoal, because the bait actually never touched the bottom, I don't think. This is going to be interesting to see what this is. A bit more light, I think. So I can see what's going on. It's moving around a bit. Certainly doesn't feel like a ray. Hope it's not an eel. We always hope it's not an eel. What have we got? Oh, I can see a bit of a flash. This isn't an eel. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Oh, what have we got? What have we got? Just get that up a beach a bit. Target achieved. Look at that. Wowzers. That's a stunner. What a stunner. My first Chesil cod of 22. Codling, I should say, not cod. Whew. She's a beauty. Look at that. Took that bait well. Right, let's get you on camera, bub. So the hard work paid off. Here's the floppy tail. A Chesil cod. Look at that. Let's get back for the camera so you can see it. I don't know how much he weighs. Codling, obviously, is fairly small. He's not of gigantic proportions. What a stunner. Let's have a look at you. Oh, he's got some amazing markings on him. All dappled markings. He took a huge, great bait. Big old bait. Yeah. Ooh. He tried to jump out of my hands. See if we can turn that light down a little bit. Not too much, obviously. Let's see if that brings out the colour. Oh yeah, see if that brings out the colour a bit better. What a stunning fish. Absolutely chuffed conkers. That's what I came for. That's what we all want. Chesil cod. Oh, the phone's going. We'll get him unhooked. I'm going to get the phone. I'll be back in a sec. Well, what an evening. Quite a bit to talk about really, because it didn't go how I thought it was going to go. So, recount, because I've lost loads because I've been fishing hard and, you know, to my own detriment, I haven't been filming everything. So started off the evening really buoyant, ready for it, thinking I had it all sussed out. 4 wraps of black lug, box of squid, bought some standby mackerel just in case, and some salted ragworm just to tip baits off. None of that worked. So the 2 hook clips weren't really doing, I don't know. I had a word with Dean halfway through the session and he said, pulley rig, 5-foot pulley rig, just put a pulley rig out. That's all he had confidence in here. For various reasons, we've discussed it. But my 2 hook clips, I stuck at it because I was convinced that the top hook of those 2 was going to pull the cod in. So I fished them all night. Couple of little rattles, couple of little nibbles, nothing of any significance. Swapped onto a pulley rig. In frustration, turned the mags right down and fired it out as far as I could. I thought I've got a spare reel in the bag. If I fluff it, if it cracks off, so be it. I want it out there. What happened? That's what the cod came on. So a 5-foot pulley with 5 black lug, tipped with squid, fired out as far as I physically could dare. I was convinced I was either going to fluff or crack off. And it paid off, because just chatting to Dean now, he's just had one and he was almost the same. In frustration, he'd wound the mags down and fired it out as far as he could, and he's pulled one in. So we both have at distance, nothing close in, which is bizarre because we've been talking to other guys on the beach and they've had them close in, 50, 60 yards. But tonight, that wasn't to happen. Just for information, if anyone else is going to chase these over the next couple of weeks, that was 2 hours after high. So we're fully into the ebb now. Tidal movement, that's all you need. You need tidal movement, but not big tides. Smaller tides, tidal movement. I loaded mine right up, pennel rig, used the top hook to help compress the baits. Sorry I didn't show it, but it's dark. I was fishing my socks off. 5 black lug, tipped with a little bit of squid, bunched down a bit and then pinned down with the pennel. And that did the job. Absolutely did the job. So if you don't hear any more from me, I'm going to fish these 2 rods out, start a slow pack up, camera gear and all the rest of it. It's all got to be packed away for the shingle trudge. We all know it. None of us love it. Yeah, so it's been a good night. Couple of scad, strap eel, 1 Chesil unicorn. People have caught a few more over the last couple of days, but I'm happy with 1. That was hard work. But yeah, going to start packing up, slow pack up, and then finally put the camera away. So if you don't hear from me again soon, it's bye for now. Thank you for joining me. Take care, tight lines, happy fishing. Look forward to seeing you on the next adventure. But from me, from here, for now, it's goodbye. Bye for now. Well, believe it or not, while I was just filming that piece, I looked round and my rod's been pulled out of the rod rest. So something else is going on. Literally, while I was doing that piece to camera, I've just had, this was literally pulled out of the rod rest. The back end of it was all the way round. So, this is interesting. Could this be the same but bigger? Let's put some more light on. Wow. Yeah, this is hanging on. So I'm not sure what this is, but this is definitely hanging on. In fact, it's going. I don't know if this might even be a smooth hound. I want it to be a bigger cod. But it's got some go in it. Whatever it is. Wow. Literally, while I was talking to the cat, I did hear something behind me, but I just discounted it. I didn't really think much of it. Looked round and the rod was pulled over. That's a nice surprise. I'm playing this very gently, but it is coming. It's on its way. Is this a smooth hound or is this a cod? It's quite energetic, whatever it is. It's starting to swim towards me now. It's starting to make me wonder what this is. Head thumps. That's the knot from the shock leader. God, it's still going. What have we got? Oh, yeah, that's going well. It's not keen. This is the benefit of a pulley rig. Oh, what have we got? What have we got? It's not a smooth hound, that's for sure. Oh, that is a stunning cod. Look at the size of that. She's a beast. That's my PB Chesil cod. No doubt about that at all. Let's get this line sorted out. Oh, and he's so lightly hooked as well. Literally, the hook's going to fall out, I'm sure of it. It is literally just caught on a little flap of skin. And that hook's out. That was too easy. Oh, good Lord. Oh, you are a stunner. Well, he's not a fat one, but he's big, he's lean. He's a big lean cod. Ah, oh, you dancer. That is more like it. Let's have a look. Get that light down. I can't get it all in camera. Let's stand back, but then the light won't get it. Look at the size of the paddle. That is a paddle and a half. What an absolute stunner. Oh my days. That is a cracker. Look at that. I've got no more bait left. That's me all baited out. That was the same rod, same place, same distance, same rig, same bait. Pulley rig, 5 black lugworm, tip with squid. At distance. How far, I don't know. But look at that. What a stunner. A brace of codling from Chesil Beach. Proves the first one wasn't a fluke.